What would NAFTA termination mean for the US? We predict that cross-border exports and imports will weaken notably, although we suspect that the net effect on the overall US trade deficit will be minimal. In part, this is due to expected exchange rate adjustments in the wake of a NAFTA termination. That is, a weaker Canadian dollar and a much weaker Mexican peso. And we also find that even if the US does eventually achieve its stated goal of reducing its trade deficit with the NAFTA partners, there's the very real possibility that this in turn would be offset by an even wider trade gap with Asia and Europe. Along those lines, we also believe that US tourism inflows would be hurt by NAFTA termination, in large part due to the drop in the Canadian and Mexican currencies. In fact, some US border towns may well feel the biggest impact from a disruption to NAFTA. On the jobs front, even though the overall economic damage to the US economy would be relatively light, the net impact on employment would still be negative. In our scenario, we project that US payrolls would be roughly 0.1% lower than otherwise, which implies a loss of roughly 100,000 jobs, lifting the jobless rate slightly. As in Canada, we believe that the bulk of the setback in GDP would be due to smaller productivity gains and not job losses per se, but it would still be a drag on US employment.